Morning guys, so we've just come south of Bristol to one of our favourite breakfast haunts called Farrington's, and it's a farm shop that does an amazing breakfast, and they also have a cow sticking out of the building. So let's go get something to eat.
Farrington's is a 400-acre farm in the Somerset countryside. In the early 1990s, they opened a small farm shop, which has blossomed into a hugely popular cafe that serves a fabulous breakfast. Marilyn grew up near here, so we often used to visit her mum and take her for breakfast at Farrington's. I haven't been in a few years and was really surprised to walk in and find that it's doubled in size. It's looking really good, and I still recognise one or two of the decorations from when I was a kid. There was a cheeky little chicken who came to look for leftovers. They also sell locally made fizzy pop, including this yummy elderflower press. They do a mean vegetarian and vegan English breakfast, as well as a traditional meat version. And outside there are children's activities and craft shops. I have a lot of fondness for Farrington's. After that, it was off to Wells. A settlement was first established in Wells during the Roman era, but it became a major religious site when King Ine of Wessex built a church here in 704 AD. This is not that church, this is St Cuthbert's Church, but you get the idea. The city is filled with history. Even the local pub used to be a jail. Walking up the high street, we were greeted with a stream of lovely bubbles. And lots of pretty flowers. Straight ahead you can see the entrance to the Bishop's Palace, and next door is the cathedral. The Bishop's Palace has been the home of the Bishop of Bath for over 800 years. Not the same bishop, obviously. It's surrounded by a legitimate medieval moat. The swans that live on the moat are quite famous. Here they are, bottoms up, searching for riverweed to nibble on. The white ones are adult swans, and the grey ones are baby swans, called cygnets. The reason they're famous is that there's a little bell outside a downstairs apartment. In the mid-1800s, Miss Eden, the bishop's daughter, trained the swans to ring the bell when they wanted to be fed. The tradition continues to this day, and staff at the palace open the window to feed the swans when they ring. The palace has 14 acres of ground, and the gardens are open to the public. Tickets are currently valid for a year, so you can come back as many times as you like. You can also buy a joint entry ticket, which gets you into both the palace and the cathedral, much cheaper than buying two separate tickets.
Hi guys, so we're now walking off our breakfast with a little walk around Wells Cathedral, which is apparently the smallest city in England, and this is pretty impressive.
As you enter the gardens, you pass beneath a huge archway that is all that remains of the Great Hall, a banquet hall built at the end of the 1200s, which later fell into disrepair. At one feast in 1337, the bishop's guests consumed 86 casks of wine, 340 casks of beer, 672 loaves of bread, and an assortment of meat and fish. They're still sleeping it off around the gardens today. This is the old well house. There are several natural springs in the grounds, hence the name Wells. In 1451, Bishop Beckington created a system to supply the town with fresh water. Water that wasn't used for drinking overflowed and washed away debris from the streets and butchers' shops, keeping the city clean. It's quite incredible how crystal clear the water is here. Despite there being a lot of visitors at the ticket booth, it was remarkably quiet in the gardens. Plenty of lush green spaces to explore without being disturbed. This path led us to the Garden of Reflection, which was full of beautiful wildflowers. And behind that is the Peace and Remembrance Garden, where you can sit and meditate upon the meaning of life, or what you're going to have for tea. On the far side are a set of community allotments for local people to grow fruit and veg. There's also a children's play area. It is a truly beautiful place to walk around, and they place an emphasis on sustainable gardening and conservation. These walls date back to the 1300s, the same time as the moat was built, known as the curtain walls and bastion towers. Although they look imposing, they were more for display than actual defence, as the stone is only 90 centimetres thick in many places. The walls were only attacked once, at the beginning of the English Civil War, but they have helped to prevent the palace from flooding when the river got too high. The gardens have been open to the public since the 1800s, and restoration on the architecture and gardens has continued since Victorian times. It really is a lovely place to visit, especially when the weather is as sunny as it is today. We were soon back to where we began, in the Great Hall. On the way out, we saw a chalkboard where people had written up all of the wildlife that they had seen on their walk. We parked up opposite the cafe and the ice cream stall. Like Farrington's, they have locally pressed drinks alongside bigger brands. And we managed to snaffle some locally made ice cream, clotted blackberry cream and mint choc chip. Whilst we were eating it, we saw a gentleman setting up for croquet on the lawn, which is a common pastime outside the palace. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour. Please give it a like and subscribe if you have. In the next video, we're going to take a look around Wells Cathedral.